talking about one of my most memorable creepy guy stories because everyone loves a good story about people overstepping their boundaries. So this happened like 5 years ago, and the guy in question wasn't some random stalker or creepy stranger. It was someone I considered a friend. And before you go on assuming, like...
Oh, so it's a story about how you turned down a friend's confession and you're calling him creepy for it? That's kind of rude.
Shh, just keep listening, because it's a lot worse than that. Obviously, I'll be using fake names since I'm not here to call people out, so let's call this guy Thomas. Thomas was a friend of mine who I saw on a weekly basis, and we'd eat or watch movies with our small group of friends pretty often, so we'd established a good friendship. So during the summer after I graduated high school, our good friend David was going on a trip with his family, and they asked Thomas to watch their house and dogs while they were gone. On one of those days, Thomas hits me up.
Hey, do you want to watch Monsters University at David's place before you go to work? I can drive you.
I had nothing else planned that day, so I was like, sure, that sounds like fun. I was really familiar with David's place because we all hung out there on a regular basis, so there was really nothing fishy about Thomas's invitation. And during the time I spent watching the movie, I was still comfortable because it was a completely ordinary movie-watching hangout day between two friends like any other. The movie ends, and it's time for me to head to work. I turn to get up, and suddenly a hand grabs my waist as I'm leaning over. I feel a pull, and the next thing I knew, I saw Thomas's face lean into mine. Whoa, my God! I need to go to work. We both get up, and I start walking towards the door, kind of confused. And then again, I feel a hand grab my arm, and he pulls me in for another kiss. This guy made a second attempt. But like the first time, I jerk my head back and step away, cause little Emirichu isn't gonna fall for the same trick twice. Again, no words are spoken, just increased awkward tension, obviously, and I start walking to his car. I'm fine. Surely he won't make a third attempt, right? Wrong! As I get closer to the passenger side, Thomas straight up grabs my face with his two hands and pulls my face towards his so he can force a kiss from me. Thanks to the rush of adrenaline from the previous attempts, I was prepared and immediately pulled my face away before our lips could touch. How are you gonna just ignore the first time a person is uncomfortable with your advances and then make a second and third attempt? Like, what goes on in your head to make you come to that decision?
Hey, so you tried to kiss her and she totally wasn't into it. But if you try it again, but like with more force, she'll totally think it's hot and she'll give in. I've watched Korean dramas. That's how it's done. But what if that just upsets her and gets her mad? What's she gonna do? Walk to work? You're her ride. Also, she hasn't learned what Uber is yet, so it's not like she can go anywhere. Right. Perfect plan.
I feel like a normal reaction to getting face grabbed into a forced kiss would be to slap the person or be like, what the hell is wrong with you? But in the moment, I was just confused and just really uncomfortable. Thomas was a guy that I considered a friend, who I'd hung out with on multiple occasions with no reason to suspect that he'd do something like this. And I'd given no indication that I was at all interested in him romantically. If you're with a person and you're getting major vibes that they're interested in you, like it's getting kind of flirty, they're touching you a lot more than usual, staring into your eyes and giving you the look, then by all means, shoot your shot. But otherwise, trying to blindly get into the smooch zone is probably not the best idea if you care to preserve the friendship you have with that person. And trying to get into the smooch zone not once, not twice, but 3 times after the person has clearly rejected your initial advances is an especially terrible idea. So anyways, as you can probably imagine, the car ride to work was really, really awkward. At one point, he even asked me,
So, what is it that you don't like about me? Why don't you like me?
Boy, I don't know, maybe it's because you're the type of guy that thinks turning away from a kiss is an invitation to try again? Is what I should have said. But since I still thought of him as my friend and didn't want to hurt his feelings, I instead said something like, I just don't see you that way. After an agonizing 10-minute drive, he drops me off, looks right at me, and says,
This doesn't mean I'll stop trying.
And then he drove off. What? So, yeah, we don't talk. I was so pissed, I called David up after work and was like, you won't believe what Thomas tried to pull today. And that's not even where the scumminess ends. So as it turns out, David also had feelings for me and wanted to ask me out, and he confided in Thomas because, he thought they were friends. Thomas suggests,
"You should wait until you come back from your trip."
and took the opportunity to move in on me while he was gone in David's own damn house. And when David confronted him about it, Thomas said something like, "I was just testing her." Testing what, sir? My reflexes? The velocity of your grubby hands grabbing my face? I'm confused. So not only did he completely disrespect David by trying to kiss me while being completely aware of David's feelings for me, but he completely disrespected me by intentionally trapping me in an uncomfortable situation and not taking the hint the first time he tried to kiss me. Don't be like Thomas. If someone does something like that to you with no regard or consideration for how you might feel and only caring about what they want to take from you in that moment, then they're not your friend. You know what they are? A creep.